So now let's get on with Belknap. And like I said way earlier in the video, the first two chapters are swappable. And this is the case here in Belknap. We have two very major landmarks, or maybe even three major landmarks, you could say. We have this mountain here in the very middle. It is called Three-Fingered Jack. Now, who is Jack and why did three people finger him? We will never know. Anyways, we also have here the twin craters. This is Belknap crater, and this is the other one. This black rocky stuff. These are the twin craters. So this is the area south of the twin craters, as you will hear about it throughout the game. We have the twin craters horde, and we have a mission that is located here. Tucker will say, will tell you to go south of the twin craters. This is what she means. And the third major landmark is here. It is Belknap Caves. Belknap Caves Ambush Camp, Belknap Caves. And this is the Belknap Crater Horde, named after its feeding location, which is somewhere along here, along the Mackenzie Pass. This is the name of this road. We'll get into the roads in a sec. So yeah, so we also have up here Marion Forks, Shadow Lake, and over here, this entire area is the Bear Creek Hot Springs. This is Patchen's Lakes. Here is the refugee camp where Sarah was supposedly taken to. And here is Bear Creek, and of course, the Belknap Hot Springs, as I mentioned earlier in the video. The Salome Hot Springs, or Tucker's Camp, in real life is just called the Belknap Hot Springs. And then over here-ish, this is a research site, and this is called Rebel Rock, this entire area right here. And if I go even further south, you see here this black rocky stuff. This is another crater known as Black Crater. And here is Black Crater Ambush Camp. And another mission also takes place here in the middle. And then we have the Iron Butte Pass Nero checkpoint, as well as the end of the Mackenzie Pass Wagon Road Ambush Camp, which you unlock way later in the game. I don't think this is a spoiler because you can literally ride up to the gate and see the smoke, and you won't comment on it until you basically unlock the region. And yeah. And of course, we can't forget about Crazy Willie's. This is the Frontier Motel and Crazy Willie's Garage and I guess bar-ish. It looks more like a convenience store, to be honest, despite them saying that it's a bar. And yeah, there are three major roads in the game. And there's also another spot we're gonna get to, which is located right here. But I'm gonna talk about it much later. So, we have this road here. We know this to be Black Crater Road. And if we follow it, it actually doesn't go along the north end of Three-Fingered Jack. It actually goes through Three-Fingered Jack. So, it goes up here and then it goes down south. This is a common sniper ambush spot. So, if we follow it, we end up at a tunnel. This tunnel is not mentioned in the game, doesn't have a name, so it would be called Three-Fingered Jack's Tunnel, which is more detail about why three people fingered Jack's tunnel. I don't know. Anyways, so if we continue following this road, we end up at Patchen's Lakes, and yes, it is lakes with an S because there's one lake, 2, and 3. And if I go over to the Horde, wait, no, the Horde can appear on the map, right? No, I think I killed it. So if I go to storylines, go to progress. If I go to Horde Killer, here it is. Patchen's Lakes Horde with an S. And let's get back to the map. So we keep going down here, and then this is a broken part of the road with a detour going around it. And over here is Black Crater Ambush Camp, as we've discussed before. Over here is a common spot where you'd find survivors. Sometimes there's a survivor inside this blue car. Another time it is underneath this bridge, so don't be confused if you uh yeah, if you pass by here and you don't see the survivor, no, the game is not glitched. The survivor is literally under the bridge. And then we have over here the Iron Butte Pass Nero checkpoint. This one is full of rippers, so be careful. Now, this is a trail right here that we take commonly to get to Hot Springs from Crazy Willy's. So you exit Crazy Willy's, and then you take this trail, and then come down here, and then you get on this other trail. You follow this along the river and get into Hot Springs. So yeah, that's interesting. And so this is where Black Crater Road ends, and this is all Old Belknap Road. It's yeah, the one from Cascade. We left it at Little Bear Lake near a checkpoint, and then we entered the Belknap region. Now, unlike Old Wagon Road up here, which changed its name to Black Crater Road, this one did not change its name. It is still called Old Belknap Road. You'll see a crossroads sign right here, which still calls it Old Belknap Road, which makes sense because this is the Belknap region. It goes down Crazy Willy's, intersects with this road. It's called Mackenzie Wagon Road, or the Mackenzie Pass, or in real life it's called the Mackenzie Highway. It is also called the Mackenzie Pass. Yeah, and then it goes all the way down here, intersects with Black Crater Road, and now all of a sudden it's called Hawksbeard Road, which, by the way, is not accessible as soon as you get to this part of the map. This is not accessible. This is the most beautiful road in the game, in my opinion, and I made a video about it and how to access it. So, check it out once you're done with this video. And over here we have Mackenzie Wagon Road. It's all the way across here. And this is Belknap Crater, as we discussed earlier. And over here we have the Lava Arch. It's literally like just an archway, as one of the characters in the game later on puts it. The rock would harden on the outside while the molten core still flowed on the inside like buried rivers. And that's basically kind of what happened here, I guess. This is how this was formed. That's my guess. I may be wrong about this. But yeah, I couldn't find the lava arch on a real map, so if you know anything, commented below. And then if we keep following this road, we end up on Marion Forks. So this is the town of Marion Forks. It is not very hard to navigate. A few landmarks to take note of. This farmhouse has some good loot inside of it. This here hangar has a nest inside of it. There's nothing inside this barn. You can count the barn as a part of this farmhouse, maybe. And I've given this barn house the name the Shadow Lake Farmhouse because it's right by Shadow Lake. As you can see, Shadow Lake Horde, Shadow Lake. And this creek is called Fish Lake Creek. I had to look that one up from the real map. Or you could call it the Mackenzie River. It's your choice, really. And then we have a nest in this building, and in this building, this is the Marion Family Supermarket. And then we have a bridge. Okay, so here is, past the bridge, we have Hungry Jim's. Hungry Jim's is a pancake diner, and there's a very big statue right in front of it. Over here is a gas station with a nest inside it. This building is a sporting goods store. And then over here is a little church. And then we have the Old Wagon Hotel, which has some loot inside of it. Over here, I guess it's some kind of municipal building, or I don't know. I never go into this building. I know I have been in there before a few times, but I don't remember anything. I guess this is some kind of transportation building because they have a few containers back here and a hangar. Yeah. Over here is another diner. There's a nest inside of here, and then we have a road, kind of like a neighborhood or a cul-de-sac, except There's no round part at the end. We have a few houses. This is a house that's under construction. Keep that in mind. This is Tucker's house. So, Tucker's camp, Tucker's house, and funnily enough, there's a car that's crashed into the back of this house. If you open the hood, there is a oil filter suppressor for your weapons that actually respawns right here. Something that I learned only recently. And then over here is another blue house. A certain character you meet later on in the game lives inside of this house. And then this, I don't know, some kind of garage. Unimportant. So yeah, and then this is another burnt house. And this is an important green main dirt road. It goes all the way up to a trail that leads up to Three Finger Jack, a lookout point right here, and a historical marker. And you're going to use this road up until right here. Okay, so you're going to take this dirt trail, and you're going to end up at this other dirt trail which goes down here. Now this is called Fitzloop Road. This is one of the roads that have a repeating name. It ends all the way over here on the other side of the tunnel, and it leads you all the way to the Bear Creek Hot Springs ambush camp. And just north of this here dirt trail, there is a bit of a mine shaft looking kind of building. It's not a mine shaft, it's a building with an elevator. You climb on this side and then you can hop inside, and there's what looks like an elevator. At least it looks kind of like the one from Silent Hill Downpour, like the very early part of the game. Yeah. Which is why I'm assuming that it is an elevator. I have a theory on what this building is, and once I check it out, I'm gonna not spoil anything. I'm gonna mention one name, and once you hear it throughout the game, you're gonna realize that it is referencing this building. And you're gonna be like, wait, I know where that is. So, moving on, I've mentioned Shadow Lake, and we have a run that goes from here and goes all the way around. And this is the feeding ground, and this is the water area. Shadow Lake Horde, actually, you might come here during the day and you won't find them. Just check the drinking area. Sometimes they are over there. They spawn here and then they start traveling their way into the cave. So, on the subject of Fitzloop Road. This road right here, that begins here, this is a main dirt road. It goes down here and then ends up here at the Mackenzie Pass. This is also Fitzloop Road. Now it intersects with this road right here. It's kind of like a straight line down to Crazy Willie's. Yeah, it has some bends to it. This is called Crater Ridge Road. Now you're thinking, hey, didn't you call this ridge Separation Ridge? Well, this road right beside it is called Crater Ridge Road. Why don't you call it Crater Ridge? Because this is not a crater. Now, this road actually continues here, and it ends up here. Now, you see this segment of road. It is right by this crater, and this is the ridge of the crater. You get it? Crater Ridge Road, it's right by the crater's ridge. Which, yeah, I'm still sticking with Separation Ridge for the name of this. I could be wrong, you could still call it Crater Ridge. Anyways, we have another road that goes from Crater Ridge Road to the Mackenzie Wagon Road, and it is called Graham Road. And remember when I said every region has a fire watchtower and a radio tower? Well, the fire watchtower is right here in Belknap on the east slope of Three Finger Jack. A mission takes place here. If you come here, you're gonna find marauders. And just like in Cascade, there's a main dirt road right here without a name. Again, Belknap, Firewatch, Drive, or something, whatever you want to call it. And then we have this trail, we take it here, and it ends up at the hot springs. So the radio tower is up here right by the refugee camp. Again, another mission takes place and there's another infestation nest here. So yeah, this is the refugee camp west of Three Finger Jack. Now that we're done, let's actually see everything in actuality and see which roads we're gonna take. Yeah, the dirt trails, there's not much dirt trails. All you need to know is the few dirt trails that start here, take you to the Horde and the camp that's right here. You also need one dirt trail goes east of here and leads you to the Horde. And then you have, of course, the trails that go off of this road and take you to the Bear Creek Hot Springs area. And then you have the trails that go up to the refugee camp. Any trails that you might want to use to get from here all the way to here, it's pretty easy to navigate. And of course, this trail. You do not need any more trails in the Belknap region. Everything is pretty straightforward. So yeah, let's actually see everything in actuality and ride along all of these roads. So we're here at the Marion Forks Tunnel near a checkpoint. And we're gonna head straight north. And I have not been mentioning the direction signs. This says Marion Forks and Salome Hot Springs. And then over here we have a crossroads sign. As we can see, Fitzloop Road, Black Crater Road. And then we have a dirt trail. This is the run that goes around Shadow Lake. And over here we have the Shadow Lake farmhouse, the barn, and the house with the good loot. It is white. It is very distinct. This is a hangar garage area, or like a tractor garage, if you can call it that stores a infestation nest inside. And you can also see Mount Jefferson from here. I guess this is Mount Jefferson, unless it's over there. Nah, this is more like a side view. And then there's another building here with a nest, and then Marion family grocers. Yep. And then what does that say? Big Meadow Pharmacy. So yeah, just go around and learn the map. We have one of these signs, Iron Butte Ranch, Diamond Lake, Crater Lake, lower accurate locations. I'm not gonna tell you if these are cut regions from the game or if there's stuff you unlock later. You have to play the game to find out.
There we go.
And over here we have a sign, Mackenzie Wagon Road and the Black Crater Road. This is sign number 2 that won't load any text on it, ever. So now you know. And let's continue on through Marion Forks. And as you can see, Hungry Jim's. This is Hungry Jim's. This is Jim himself. And these are his Pam cakes. Get it? Anyone here a fan of The Office? This is Jim and Pam cake. And then we have the gas station with an infestation nest. And if we continue on, we have the sporting goods store. Let's see what it's called. Oh, it's more of a fish store. There is a cutscene where he does call this place a sporting goods store. It's not exactly a sport store, it's a fish store. That's weird. Maybe I'm missing something because I don't fish IRL. Maybe that is a sporting goods store for whatever reason you want to call it that. And we have the Old Wagon Hotel. It has good loot inside of it. And the church. That's a spoiler. I'm gonna censor that. Something happens at the church. And then what do we have over here? What is this building? This is the Marion Forks Government Offices. Yeah, I said it's some kind of municipal building. And then we have a bookstore. Why did I think that was a bar? I mean, look inside. That... Oh yeah, the counter threw me off. So yeah. And then we have the street with the houses. This is a mechanic shop. Lopez family was here. These are the random stories left by the developers that make you think, oh hey, what happened here? So yeah, this is a certain character's house. This is a bear in a big blue house. This is his house. You'll find a bear here. Wait! There is a bear fight. Easter egg? Like during this particular mission. Yeah. Bit of a spoiler, I know. And then house under construction. And Tucker's house. I said there was a car with a respawnable silencer. It is right back here. And if I approach it, yep, there's the silencer. You can see it. It is a top mount oil filter. And yeah, she has a greenhouse and quite a lovely corn garden by the looks of it. Let's move on to our next landmark. What the hell is that? Is that a screamer? Yep, another sign that says Black Crater Road. This road does not have a name, unfortunately. So let's get the bike and move on. The bike is over here. Now you're gonna see Shadow Lake Recreation Area. This road leads you to the feeding ground for the Horde and then eventually to the lake itself. And then road number 2, there's usually a clothesline trap over here between this pole and I guess the tree maybe? Or the car, I don't know. And yeah, this goes to Marion Forks Tunnel. Sorry, Three Finger Jack Tunnel. And this road is called Bunch Grass Road. And I use this road a lot. And another sign that says Black Crater Road. So, if I take it, I hear a bear. So, this is the dirt trail that I was talking about.
Right on target. Need that.
So yeah, this is the dirt trail that I was talking about. Here's Three Finger Jack. If I continue down here, there's another dirt trail that I can take up here to the vantage point. So let's go there first, and then I'm gonna go back to this dirt trail. Very, very, very common to use it. And over here it says Three Finger Jack Recreation Area. And there's a dirt trail that just leads down to where the other trail goes. And there's Bambi. We have a historical marker, a view, Mount Jefferson, and yeah, you can see a lot from here. And sometimes there are survivors up here. So, this dirt trail I would take in order to get to the Bear Creek Hot Springs area, but if I park here in the middle, right over here, you can kind of see where the grass kind of splits. We have ourselves a interesting looking building with what looks to be an elevator or some kind of, yeah, coal elevator. Now you cannot open this road. Now you see the lock symbol on the door? If it has a crack through it, it means it is an openable door. If it doesn't, you can never open this door, even though you can probably get to the other side. Just like the chicken. And so, this is how we enter here. You can see, now there's a crack through this, so now I can open this door from the inside. And yeah, we have a workbench, and another workbench, and some kind of elevator shaft looking thing, even though this platform doesn't look like it moves. It's an odd place, to be honest. Zero explanation, but judging by this elevator, my theory is that this floor is actually meant to go down, because hear me out. For anybody that has played this game, and you can see that this is a minecart. So this is Tommy Strickland's Fallout shelter. I'm just saying. I'm gonna make a whole entire video about this subject matter and diving deep into another character. So yeah, that's what I think. So if I follow this trail, we end up over here, another sign that says Three Finger Jack Recreation Area. Up here is the Bear Creek Hot Springs Camp. Following this dirt road leads you to the entrance, or you can come here, follow this dirt trail up, and you have a side entrance. So if I follow this road, remember what you're seeing. You're seeing yourself go through a bit of a canyon. And then we have a bridge that leads you to the refugee camp, sort of. This one has a jump, so you can't really hop back. You have to follow this jump over here in order to cross the other way around. No jumps here. So if I follow this all the way here, now we have a sign that says Bear Creek Hot Springs Recreation Area, and a crossroads sign, and on it, Fitzloop Road, Black Crater Road. Same name, different areas. So, if I follow
You're crossing the road 2 years ago, you would have gone splat.
over here, Batchen's Lakes, and then over here, the hot springs. and Rebel Rock Cave, as well as Rebel Rock itself. The Nero injector is up here somewhere. Once you see a cop car, turn right. There it is. We turn right after the car. Please make it. How? Tell me how the hell this happened. Now where the hell is my bike? Okay, so here it is. This is a Nero injector area, and the safest way to hop off of here is to go this way. And jump off. And make sure your wheels are parallel to the ground. And then if we continue here, just past this detour, we have Black Crater Ambush Camp. Black Crater Recreation Area. So if I continue on, this is Black Crater right here. Take this other detour, and we can actually ride up here, and you can see a Marauder camp. And then we follow Black Crater Road. Here is a dirt trail that you're gonna commonly use, and here is also an area with a clothesline trap. I think it's between here and here. So yeah, we have this here Nero checkpoint. So now if we move on along this road, what does the sign say? It says Salome Hot Springs.
Marauders taking out freaks, yeah?
We've got a detour around this roadblock. That gets us here. And then this is the Mackenzie Pass. I'm gonna explore it in just a sec. And then if I move on, we end up right at Crazy Willie's. This is where Boozer got his arm burnt. You should be pretty familiar with this area. It's not that hard to learn. It's just a straight line and a few buildings. And then over here is Crater Ridge Road. And if I go up here, this is a spot where it looks like this person took a Nero injector and then died. This is one of the spots that has a micro recorder, I'm pretty sure. I think. I can't remember very well if it does or not. But this road goes all the way here to the end. It basically gets cut off and then continues over here. And this still says Crater Ridge Road. And then yeah, we have the Twin Craters area up north, and then a camp on this side. So let me actually show you it. And now from this point onwards, The camp is this way, and then if I go this way, you get to the Twin Craters area. Well, the Twin Craters Horde area. It's up here to the left. And yeah, the Horde Cave is over there. And there's another Marauder camp somewhere over here, different to the other camp I was talking about. Actually, it's down here. And the other camp I was talking about is over there on that cliffside. And yeah, there's usually here a wire trap between this white car and that blue car, so be careful. This lake down here does not have a name. I have no idea what it's called. If you do, please let me know in the comments. So if we go up Crater Ridge Road, I use this to go from Crazy Willie's all the way to Marion Forks all the time. We have the Belknap Caves ambush camp on the right side, with a respawnable horde underneath the camp. And over here we have Graham Road that connects this road all the way to the Mackenzie Pass. I'm gonna be back here in just one last second, because actually I missed something. Just north of Graham Road is a trail that leads you to the Belknap Crater Horde, which is here inside of this cave, and this is one of the hordes where I've had a problem with them spawning. So yeah, it's an easy reload to save. It looks like they have spawned now. I can sort of hear them. So yeah, if you ever come across a horde and they don't spawn, just reload your save, it should fix it. So if we follow Crater Ridge Road, which actually in a cutscene this is called Road 42. I guess this was just earlier in the game's development. It had a different name, because the Frontier Motel, which is the motel at Crazy Willie's, if you see the beta and alpha footage of the game, it used to be called the Wigwam Motel. And so Crater Ridge Road intersects with Fitz Loop Road. And so we go here in order to get to Marion Forks. But let's go back south. I want to show a few more things. So if I go down Graham Road, we end up at the Belknap Caves Visitor Center, or Belknap Crater Visitor Center, which is this building right here. Belknap Caves Visitor Center, actually. And then we have the National Monument. We enter through here. So we end up here at the Mackenzie Pass. And somewhere along this road is usually a wire trap area. I don't know exactly where it is, but it is definitely north of this truck. And this is a lake which I believe to be based on Clear Lake in real life. There are many lakes east of Three Finger Jack with very stupid names. Up here we have the Firewatch Tower. And over here is a main dirt road without a name. Firewatch Drive, anyone? And we have some marauders in here. There's the Firewatch itself, and let's escape. And then continue onwards, and we are gonna end up at the Lava Arch, which is right here, and there's a cave inside with a horde.
Out here, there ain't nothing but murdering drifters, raiders.
And now I want to go all the way down. You can see how beautiful Belknap crater looks. We've got one more common dirt trail to showcase. There's the other crater down here. So you're gonna come out of Crazy Willie's, which is over there, and you're gonna follow this road, and then you're gonna take this dirt trail up here. And there's usually a sniper ambush over here despite you being on a dirt trail, so be careful of that. Clearing the Iron Butte Pass near a checkpoint does reduce the chance of the sniper spawning. And we're gonna end up at this bridge, and then past this bridge. We take this dirt trail, which leads us to the Belknap Hot Springs. This is a run along Bear Creek. And here it is. The pictures that I showed earlier show this exact brown bridge, and this house, and this pool right here. And we still need to showcase the radio tower, which is out here. Now we are following a main dirt road. I don't know the name of this road. There is a sign back there. I think it has a name. But anyways, kind of irrelevant. If I go up here, I can see a lot of dirt trails on the side that lead to the radio tower. And then up here, just at the end, we have a split where there's another main dirt road. And this leads down to the radio tower, and that leads up to the refugee camp, but I'm still going to be able to get to the radio tower if I follow here. So, again, more Bear Creek Hot Springs, and this is the a marauder camp as well. And I'm actually gonna park the bike here because I want to show you the route to get inside the camp before you are able to push this truck out of the way, because it can be a little confusing. Simply enough, go through this narrow building, and then go through the tent on the left. And now just loop around everything. And you shall end up at the refugee camp itself. And here is Sarah's memorial stone, aka Deacon's Pet Rock. So, let me see if I can get myself through. Hop on the bike, and let's head to the radio tower. And we have ourselves a cliff which overlooks the Patchins Lake's Horde's feeding ground. And this is an easy kill location, because the Horde will target you if you're standing right at the edge. So yeah. Here is the radio tower. I'm not gonna go up the entire way, but I think that is about it for the Belknap area. Let's move on to the next region,